This Sunday at 8 o'clock, the Trackmania Grand League is finally back, and one of the players who is a new addition to this league is, for the first time, the Australian player Mudda. Mudda, first of all, congratulations. Welcome back to this channel, but how is life overall doing? How is Mudda doing now that we have a new year and a new league for you?
30 years going pretty well so far. Just connecting with my own community on Twitch has been really nice. Yeah, practicing the Grand League maps has been a surprisingly pleasant experience despite my initial discovery of them. And yeah, overall, I just feel confident for the league.
Hmm. If you go back to 2020, how would you sum up 2020 for you as a player, as a person? What is sort of the takeaways that you have from the year that passed?
I would say 2020 was absolutely spectacular in pretty much every way. After the start of 2020 wasn't so great because of all the bushfires and then
Hmm.
I had some personal issues. But really, I started playing Deep Fear. Then the new game came out, and then Open Grand League went really well. And then I made the Combine, and yeah, it's just a massive explosion for me personally, like, in a positive way.
Hmm. Yeah, it's safe to say when you look back at Trackmania or the Open and Grand League season, it was, at least in my eyes, somewhat clear from, let's say, step three that, okay, Murray is a potential candidate, probably the most likely contender to qualify. But if you look back at it, how would you say that your feeling of actually having a chance to qualify was? What moment did you feel that, okay, I have a legit chance, I am a legit contender to maybe be in the next season of Trackmania Grand League?
Honestly, I would say the end of step one. Like I was pleasantly, even though I lost all of my points in map five, I was actually pleasantly surprised with my performance, and I thought, oh yeah, I could actually do this. So yeah, that motivated me even more, and also a lot of nerves were set aside after step one.
Hmm. But how was the combine for you? Then you had to go outside of playing with just Open Grand League players. Now you're going to play against 8 of the Trackmania Grand League players. Were you curious to see where your skill level was compared to them, or did you already have some sort of idea about where it was compared to the times from Trackmania Grand League to Open Grand League?
Just looking at the times and seeing how people practice, I already had an idea.
Hmm.
But the biggest, the most, what's the word? Most nerve-wracking thing for me was actually the knockout. Like that was, well, that was the most stressful part of the combine, but it was fun.
Hmm. But now you are in the Trackmania Grand League. You are joining an org, that being Edelweiss, who has already been in for one season. How would you say that that deal come together? How would you say that you ended up in Edelweiss?
Well, they approached me and we had a pleasant first introduction. They made an offer that I liked, and
Hmm.
yeah, the rest is history.
Hmm. And how is it now to join an esport organization? You probably have a contract that is offering salary. You have a social media platform that they promote you on. How is it to be part of an esport org now?
Well, really, it's just a dream come true, to be honest. Like the beginning of something great.
Hmm. Have you guys talked about what expectations they have for you? Do they know much about what your skill level is? Do they have any goals for you in this season?
Not really. We're kind of just going what's the word? We're kind of dynamic about it, just seeing how it goes for the
Hmm.
first 3 months, the first season.
Hmm. Yeah, I did sort of this tier list where I was gonna place the players, and I mentioned that in my video that the hardest time I have to place a player is you because I have no idea. You have a some sort of unique skill level that maybe others doesn't because you have a strong history from the full speed scene. But where would you place yourselves in or in the Trackmania Grand League? Do you have any idea about where we can place you? What we can expect from you?
This is ambitious, but I expect to be in the top four, to
Hmm.
be honest, at the end of the season. Yeah.
But is that likely, or is this like just like a really high goal you set for yourself? Do you see some sort of reality into that?
Yeah, it's a high expectation, but I do see some real. I do think it's a realistic expectation if I put the effort in.
Mm. Yeah. Also, if you go back to the tier list, the most sort of comments I have is that I placed you too low because people have seen your training, people have seen your times. How much would you say that you have prepared for this open, the step that is coming up, and for the whole season overall?
Well, I've definitely prepared a lot for the first step. I was actually ready to play the step after the first week, so the last couple of weeks it's just been a little bit for me personally.
Mm.
But yeah,
Mm. But what if you look at the two sort of parts about Trackmania Grand League, it's quite different. You have the season where it's consistency that matters, it's to keep the points, it's to drive 6 laps, and then you go into a playoff system where it's about winning 2 rounds, either against 8 players, 6 players, 4 players, or in a 1v1. What part of Trackmania Grand League do you think suits you the best? Is it consistency, or is it when you have to be as fast as possible, essentially?
full send all the way. I love it.
But if you look at the maps itself, people say that this season this might be more technical than maybe last season. How would you sum up the maps that we have now seen for the step one?
I do like that the maps are shorter, but I am quite disappointed that they're easier,
Mm.
but also harder at the same time. And then the maps aren't as dynamic as they were last season, but they do flow quite well. So at least they're smooth.
Mm.
So I'll give them that.
Mm. Looking at the other players, there are one player that you played with before, that being Link from Open Grand League. Then you're going to play a full season with 14 players that you haven't played with before. Who do you see as the contenders for a win? Do you see any names sticking out, or is it a bunch of people that in the end can win it?
Well, I think a lot of people have really stepped up their game this season, at least from what I've seen in the leaderboards.
Mm.
And one name in particular, I think Kappa will shine again this season.
Mm.
The maps seem to suit him more, and obviously his new contract with McLaren, that's pretty epic, and I reckon that'll motivate him.
Mm. I also mentioned once you join Edelweiss that I think it's a good step for you. I'm happy for you joining an org, but if there are a way into the Australian market, you are our guy. You are the one to help us there. Do you see a future for the Australian market in Trackmania, or is it too early now to sort of think about what we can do in Australia?
Oh, definitely too early to think about that.
Mm. But is there any
Yeah.
long-term goals that, or what do you think needs to happen for, let's say, that to be a reality where we can think about Australia as a potential market? Do you have any idea?
I'm not the person to ask, to be honest. I'm just a player.
Yeah, you're just one of the best players in the world, for say. Talking about your manager, we mentioned it a little bit in the article I did with you, the role that Phoebe has. Can you clarify to people, now that you've joined an org, now that she has joined Ubisoft Nadeo, how is the relationship there? Is it still that she's your manager? Is she still helping you? What is that relationship now?
Well, if anything, like it's just gotten better since just over the course of time, to be honest. Like
Mm.
since yeah, she's been helping me with analytics, creating simulations for me to go up against when I do 6 lappers, so I'm not just mindlessly driving laps. Um, yeah, practice maps I need to make, for example, just stuff like that.
Hmm. Yeah, I talked a little bit in private with Phoebe, and she said that her role in Ubisoft Nadeo is not related to Trackmania Grand League. Do you also have that impression that her role as a manager will not interfere with her role at Ubisoft Nadeo because her role is not linked to Trackmania Grand League?
Absolutely not. No, she's not that kind of person to. What's the word? I don't quite know what the word is, but no, she keeps it separate.
Yeah. Hmm. If you look back, once you look back at Trackmania Grand League, you mentioned that top four is sort of the goal you have. But what needs to happen for you to be happy? What needs to take place for you to essentially leave this season as being pleased with yourself, pleased with the results, pleased with everything?
Just knowing that I put the effort in and seeing improvements over time.
Hmm.
Not necessarily just consistency, but maybe my pace improves.
Hmm.
Maybe I set better times more often, stuff like that.
Hmm. And
Just seeing improvement.
yeah, exactly. And new for this year is that now we will actually have the Trackmania Grand League World Cup taking place. How much is that going to motivate your factor of motivation? Is that going to be higher priority than Trackmania Grand League season? Is it going to be equal? How much do you think that a World Cup could motivate you?
Well, the World Cup is it's fantastic to see it back, to be honest. And yeah, it's definitely something I'm motivated to give it my all for.
It's time to have the first Australian world champion, no? It's time, it's time. We have one from North America, we have people from Europe, but Australia's left to be seen there, right?
Yeah, we'll see in a few months' time.
Thank you so much. Any final words for the people that are supporting you? I've seen a lot of support for you on social media, on the different streams. Any final words for the people that might tune in to watch Yannick's cast you on this Sunday?
Well, honestly, all I can say is I really love and appreciate all of you. Like, it's been absolutely incredible having such an amazing fan base. All the Penguins. Like, I love to see it. I really do.
Best of luck to you, Mudda. I'm
Yeah.
really curious about what you can do in this Trackmania Grand League season, and it's always fun to have new profiles that we have sort of no real clue about where they can do, and that's the most fun part about a new season, that you have new contenders. So thanks so much, and best of luck to you on Sunday and overall in Trackmania Grand League.
No worries, Eirik. Thanks for having me.
That's it. Trackmania Grand League takes place on Sunday at 8 o'clock. Then you can watch Mudda, casted by Yannick on Edelweiss. And if you want more interviews, well, you can just be on this channel, and I will try to do as many as possible. But that's it for today. Bye bye.